Colleagues, hello. I'm happy to present for your information some data about production operations of Gazprom. Gazprom produces 68% of all gas in Russia and 12% globally. Please note that our production potential exceeds 500 billion cubic meters per annum. As of now, gas production comes thanks to the following capacities: 7,570 active wells, 191 complex gas treatment stations, as well as 71 compressor stations. Gazprom is the largest subsoil user in Russia. On our balance sheet, we have 32.8 trillion cubic meters of gas reserves and 1.8 billion tons of liquid hydrocarbons, excluding those of Gazprom Neft. Our company does annual reassessment of its hydrocarbon reserves under JORC with an independent auditor involved. Gazprom owns the largest gas transportation network in the world. The length of trunk pipelines and connections as at the end of 2020 stood at 176.8 thousand kilometers. In order to even out the seasonality in gas consumption, we have underground gas storages. As at the early 2020 offtake season, the reserve in them stood at 72.3 billion cubic meters, while maximum capacity reached 843 million cubic meters per day. A major area in Gazprom's operations is processing of natural gas and liquid hydrocarbons. As of now, the refining complex of Gazprom includes 3 gas processing plants and 4 refineries and condensate processing units. The Russian fuel and energy complex has Gazprom's processing complex as its number 1. It ensures 100% of helium supply, 85% of sulfur, 20% of liquefied hydrocarbon gases, and 5.7% of motor fuel. Gazprom has a feature in the broad spectrum of hydrocarbons it processes. At its facilities in Orenburg, Astrakhan, and Surgut, we process stable gas condensate and high sulfur liquid hydrocarbons. In the region of Nadim-Purtaz, we're building alternative arrangement projects which would allow processing more volumes of gas condensate from Achimov deposits. The new condensate stabilization unit is to be commissioned at Urengoy plant for gas condensate transportation treatment in 2021. As the result, volumes of liquid hydrocarbons to be processed will increase by 4 million tons per annum. On top of that, we are implementing the Amur gas processing plant project and the gas processing complex in Ust-Luga, Leningrad region. Development of the gas processing complex at Gazprom would allow us to process wet gas into high-value added products, protect its basket from the volatility of commodity markets, and diversify sales of gas through larger LNG volumes. The Amur gas processing plant is part of the so-called Eastern Gas Program at Gazprom, while feedstock for Amur is coming from Irkutsk and Yakutsk gas production hubs through the trunk pipeline of Power of Siberia. Amur gas processing plant is a single technological complex with 2 major objectives. One is to produce commodity gas in line with contract specification to supply to the People's Republic of China, while the other objective is to extract valuable components from the feedstock, such as ethane, propane, butane, pentane-hexane fraction, as well as helium to be sold domestically and internationally. The design capacity of Amur gas processing plant is going to be 42 billion cubic meters, with 38 billion cubic meters of commodity gas to be delivered into the Power of Siberia pipeline. This makes this project the largest gas processing facility in Russia. Amur gas processing plant is also going to include the largest helium production unit in the world with up to 60 million cubic meters per annum. Also, up to 2.4 million tons of ethane is going to be produced, as well as up to 1.5 million tons of propane and butane fraction. The first phase is going to be commissioned in 2021 with full capacity to be reached by 2025. This project is financed with project financing with a total amount of 11.4 billion euro. This project is facilitated by banks from China and Russia, as well as international banks from Germany, France, the Netherlands, Italy, the UK, and Japan, with guarantees from export credit agencies in Germany and Italy. The financing is up to 17 years long. This money will facilitate uninterruptible financing of this project throughout its construction phase, with the advanced social and economic development area benefiting from the following, such as tax benefits for insurance, property tax and land tax, as well as VAT rebates upon request and the free customs area. All these benefit Amur GPP. In order to extract as much valuable components as possible from the hydrocarbon feedstock, Gazprom has also decided to build a gas processing complex in the vicinity of Ust-Luga, Leningrad region. It is going to be fed with ethane content of gas from Nadym-Purtaz region. It is going to be supplied via dedicated pipes of the uniform gas production system. This project is run together jointly by Gazprom, Rusgaz-Dobыча, JV, Rushim Alliance. The capacity here is 45 billion cubic meters per annum, producing 3.6 million tons of ethane per annum and up to 1.7 million tons of liquefied hydrocarbon gas. The ethane will be fed to the Baltic gas chemical complex, while liquefied gases will be sold for exports and delivered by sea. About 18 billion cubic meters of commodity gas will be streamed to Russian and European off-takers. This complex includes an LNG facility with a capacity of 13 tons per annum to be supplied externally. We have already received a positive state expert review, and early work has already been commenced. The Ust-Luga plant is going to be commissioned in two phases with a capacity of 22.5 billion cubic meters of feedstock gas each. Now let me say a few words about the gas distribution program and development of gas distribution infrastructure in Russia for 2021 through 2025. This belongs to one of the priority areas for Gazprom. Last year, Gazprom's chairman of the management committee, Mr. Alexei Miller, and leaders of 67 Russian regions have signed up to the gas supply and gas distribution network development program for 2021 through 2025. Capex for that is already part of Gazprom's investment program and that of Gazprom Межрегион Gas. Thus, by 2026, we are going to increase domestic gas supplies by 21.8 billion cubic meters per annum. Gazprom is also working to reduce sanctions risk from using foreign manufactured equipment. That's why we have a systemic effort for import substitution in order to reduce exposure to imported technologies, equipment, and services. We're doing that across all operations of the company, from geological exploration to hydrocarbon processing, with the objective of producing the technologies and equipment internally. In order to do so, we have set up ties with state corporations, large enterprises, the defense and military complex, as well as leading research and development institutions. The company has adopted a list of most important types of products for import substitution and localization. Reducing that list is the key performance indicator towards that goal. From 2015 onwards up until today, we are producing 70% of that list locally. The total economic effect from import substitutions from from 2016 through 2020 has already exceeded 50 billion rubles. On top of that, it's growing every year. Nowadays, we're working with Russian firms and companies towards import substitutions with major focus on most technological areas with most research capacity, such as production of liquefied natural gas and underwater production of hydrocarbons. Hence, we have a track record of cooperation, the competences we have built on the side of other Russian firms and companies, and support from the government. This ensures timely and efficient implementation of Gazprom's prospective projects. As at the end of 2020, Gazprom Group is #1 in Russia in terms of installed capacity for heat and power generation. We have 13% of all electric power generation in Russia as well. All generating assets of Gazprom Group are consolidated within Gazprom Energo Holding, managing 78 power plants of Mosenergo, TGK-1, OGK-2 in 17 regions of Russia. The utilities business of Gazprom Group ensures stable cash flows for the company. In 2020, Gazprom Energo Holding is going to meet its targets in net income and EBITDA. Dividend payout based on 2020 are going to be no lower than based on 2019 results. Gazprom Group is targeting reliable supply of energy to its processing capacities. In 2021, we'll be finalizing 2 priority generating facilities. The one is Svobodninskaya thermal power plant for 160 megawatts for Amur gas processing plant, and the other one is Pančeva thermal power plant in Serbia. On top of new construction, we are doing overhaul and upgrade of existing equipment. In 2020 through 2026, it's 2 gigawatts of capacity, or 22% on the first price zone. The group intends to stick with the competitive capacity contracts for 2027 through 2031 and would also bid for innovative Russian-made GTUs for 2027 through 2029. Green energy is another development area. TGK-1 selected in a bidding process in Murmansk region to construct a small hydropower plant on the river Paz. Delivery is targeted for 2021. Capacity contracts are effectively support mechanisms ensuring a guaranteed return on investments. The actual return would vary from year to year, depends on the situation of the financial markets in Russia. Gazprom understands its responsibility to ensure a safe environment at work and caters to industrial safety and fire safety. This is a part of our strategic planning. Our strategy up until 2021 has allowed Gazprom to reduce the number of incidents by 51% with a target of 30%. The number of injured people went down by 49%, while the number of accidents and incidents is down by 64%. Last year, a new industrial safety strategy was adopted for the year up to 2030. This is fully in line with best international practices. In 2020, got certified for ISO 45001. Operations of Gazprom is stable and sustainable. It ensures reliable operations of the uniform gas supply system across the country. It also provides sufficient volumes of gas to Russian and international off-takers. Gazprom is actively developing gas processing and power generation. In the upcoming decade, Gazprom is going to see a new stage in its developments through a fast-tracked gas supply and gas distribution development in Russia. Thank you.